I'm Allie. Welcome to Little Hill Homestead. Today is our first video in Souptember. So we kind of talked about this a couple weeks ago in one of our videos, but what is Souptember? So Souptember is hosted, it's a collaboration. There are 15 total channels. I believe it's 14 or 15 total channels that all are doing a soup recipe in the month of September. The one, the beautiful lady who's hosting this is Leanne over at Mennonite Farmhouse. So I'm gonna put a link below and it gives you the full schedule and everybody who's involved in this. But she was sweet enough to invite us this year. I think this is, she said, her 4th or 5th year doing this. And here we are. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. We're completely crazy. I'm gonna start right there. We keep it very real, but we also live a homestead life and like to cook from scratch. So there's the basics. But yeah. So Miss Leanne is gonna be doing a couple things throughout this, and we are gonna be giving away something as well as part of her collaboration. On October 2nd, she is gonna pick a winner for a $100 gift card from all the comments on all the channels. So any of the 31 videos, if you leave a comment on any, not just mine, anybody's, one of you guys will get selected for that gift card, but she's doing additional giveaways as well. So October 2nd, if you tune into her channel, I'll leave that information below. She's gonna be doing a live, she's gonna be doing a giveaway, and we are gonna be giving, I can't remember if it's a bread, one of our bread bags or one of our hot pads to one winner. So keep an eye out for that. Anyways, let's get started. So 2 things. We are gonna be doing a recipe today, and then we're gonna be doing one in 2 weeks, kind of towards the end of September. And I originally, for that one, had said, I'm gonna do split pea soup. But you guys know that I like to do what you want. So, do you wanna see split pea soup, which is apparently very hard to say. It's a basic vegetarian recipe. There's no meat in it. It's really frugal. Or would you guys like to see lemon aveno? It's a Greek lemon orzo soup with chicken thighs in it. So if you'd rather see that, let me know. I'm gonna let you guys pick. So comment below, let me know. That also will get you into that giveaway for Miss Leanne's channel. Okay, so today we are making what some people call Zuppa tuscana, or potato, sausage, and kale soup. It's up to you guys. Sean calls it Zuppa tuscana, and I just, that rolls off the tongue a little easier than saying sausage, potato, kale soup. So let's go over really quickly our ingredients that we're gonna need, and then we'll flip you to the stove and get to cooking. So you need 8 cups of either chicken broth or water and your favorite chicken base. So some people use like a powdered bouillon. I am trying to get through this. We did a 28 freezer meals. We're still eating those, you guys. It's been a month now. We still have a freezer full. They're all stretching longer than a day. But I'm trying to get through this. So I am gonna add 2 tablespoons of this to my water, and then I'm almost out of it, you guys. So if you have chicken broth, like jarred up yourself, use that. It's just beautiful. We just are out, and like I've told you guys before, it's one of those, I cook it for a long time, and when I do, it kind of stinks at my house, and our family doesn't love it. So I wait until it's cooler outside, and then I cook it outside. So I'm waiting for cooler weather. We're almost there. So I've got my 8 cups of water or chicken broth and bouillon. I'll have this below in the description, by the way. You need 1 pound of Italian sausage or ground beef, your choice. I am using 1 pound of Italian sausage. These were in tubes we get from Butcher Box, and I just squeezed them out of the casings. I like these because I don't drain the fat off. If you use ground beef, you're gonna wanna drain that fat off. I have our herbs, which I went out into the garden and grabbed them. By the way, it's not the cutest little Pyrex you've ever seen in your life. It's like a sample one. You have rosemary, sage, and thyme. We chopped them up from the garden, 2 teaspoons of each. If you need dried, I will put that below. I think it's like a teaspoon of each. I do that in the winter when we don't have our herbs going. You need 1 onion diced up finely. 3 russet potatoes. You can peel them if you want. I don't, because I like the rusticness that it adds. Rusticness. But you can peel them if you want. These are organic russets. We get them from Azure Standard. I feel like if you're gonna eat the peel, it's better to do organic, but as you do you, like we always say. You need 3 cloves of garlic, 1 cup of heavy whipping cream. If you wanna use your favorite like canned cream, like we sometimes do this with, if you look, sometimes it's on the Mexican aisle or the ethnic aisle, and sometimes it's over by the canned milk. It's called Media, M-E-D-I-A, crema. It's like a Mexican cream. It literally tastes like whipping cream, but it's shelf stable. So we keep some of that in our pantry at all times, and it does great in this recipe. You need a half a cup of sour cream. We make our own. I'll try to remember to link the video. I'm so bad at linking stuff. And then for toppings, you need a really good Parmesan cheese. And then I almost forgot the kale for this kale soup. We got it from Azure Standard. It came with 3 bunches, so I'm gonna make some other stuff, but also it's really easy and good to freeze. So, woo, I tried to do the prep work so that I could talk for 12 minutes before I ever get started cooking. Let's turn around and get to the stove. Okay, I'm using, what size is this? I don't know. This is a big La Creuset. This is we just got a new one because I've literally had the same La Creuset for like 5 years, and I saw this one on an amazing deal, and the other one is so chipped on the enamel inside it. I was reading that it's no longer safe to use, which is just sad, but I got a new one, so I'm excited because I like the green. Anyways, it's a big Mama Jamba. Just get a big pot because this does have quite a few ingredients that need to go in it, so you need some room. 1 pound of Italian sausage going straight into your pot. I don't use oil or anything. I feel like it's gonna let off its natural oils, but you do want to break it down. We just use one of these little meat choppers. I need a new one, but if it's not broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, you know what I mean. Anyways, I am going to beat the heck out of this with this into small little pieces and let it cook down until it's fully cooked through. Then I'm gonna bring you back to show you what else we're gonna do with this soup. It's, by the way, like 11 a.m. I was supposed to film this yesterday, and you know those days where you like literally can't get anything done? So I'm making this in the morning today so that I have no excuses. I'm gonna throw mine in a crock pot. Typically we eat it right out of the pot, but like I said, we're keeping it real around here, right? I'm gonna go write this down. Okay guys, I've got my soup going, and I wanted to show you guys with kale, the parts you do and do not want. So we get ours from Azure Standard. I have 1 bunch here, and what I'm gonna do is give it a good wash. I just run it under some cold water, and make sure it's cold, not hot, that'd be bad. I just kind of make sure that I get all the dirt out of the veins, and then I'm just gonna set it to the side. These dry really, really quickly. You don't need much. And then to process a piece of kale, I take off all these funky ones at the bottom. This has been in my fridge for 3 weeks, you guys, and it's held up amazingly well, but it does get a little yellow. So I usually just kind of take off these bottom ones and feed them to my chickens. Then this top one, there's a vein that runs right through the middle of it. It's really big on some of these, like you see how big that is. That part you can eat, it is very chewy. And so what I do is I typically grab at the base of it, and then you kind of just pull up. It's gonna be hard because I ripped the other part off. And the vein comes out. That part will go, and then these we are just gonna chop really, really small. With this soup, you can do a full bunch of kale. We had, when we first started making this, small children in our house, and they didn't like a lot of kale in it. So 2 suggestions is maybe use half of a bunch or maybe just a little bit more. And then when you do pieces, like that is like big. You don't want to get much bigger than that. Really, you want probably pieces like this because they're gonna break down and be the best chew-wise when you go to eat it. But I mean, just pull that part off, chuck it to the side for the compost or your chickens, and then you just rough chop this. What I like about kale too is I always get 3 bunches, and we don't go through it fast enough. You can freeze it. I just cut it up, stick it in Ziploc bags, take the air out, stick it in my freezer, and then I have it for soup next time. It does great in soups. So that's how we're gonna process our kale really quickly. And there you guys go, moving on. Okay, so my sausage is pretty much done. Like I said, I don't drain it because I don't feel like it has enough fat. If you do ground beef for this recipe, you would want to. And if you're not a sausage or a beef fan, you can do this with a chicken sausage or your favorite ground chicken. Really, it adds a little bit of flavor, but most of our flavor comes from our herbs and other things. So it's kind of just your protein, I guess, in it. I'm gonna add my herbs into the pot, along with our garlic and our onion. Get my potatoes pulled away. I am using a sweet onion because we're from Georgia. It's required. You're supposed to use sweet onions if you're from the South, just saying. We get those in there. And then we're just gonna give it a little stir until our onions and our garlic are like translucent and starting to break down. I'm telling you guys, you can have this from start to finish on the table in like 30 minutes. And it looks and feels expensive. It's a really hearty but not heavy meal. It's really good. We like it. Okay, I'm gonna go continue Actually, my kale is hiding in the sink. Like I said, we keep it real here. So now I'm gonna go get this kale out of the dirty sink, wash it again, and then actually cut it up this time. All right, my onions are translucent. It's been like maybe 4 minutes, 5 minutes. I do have my heat on like medium high because I'm gonna be adding some broth right now and I don't want the temp to drop too low. So I'm gonna be adding my 3 diced potatoes. I did I have this little machine. I'll have to pull it out. I put it away already. But you basically cut the potatoes and then you hit them with, I'll show it to you sometime. Anyways, dice some potatoes, you guys. We have a little machine that does it, but you can use a knife too. Isn't that amazing how knives work? I am a gadget person. If you've been around the channel, you know this. Sometimes I think I want to simplify, and then the same day I will order some other cool gadget. So it's just a problem for me. I just, I'm an easy person to gift for at Christmas because if it's kitchen related, you're pretty much set. My kids are like, just get her mason jars. She's fine. All right, my potatoes in, and then I'm gonna grab my chicken broth that I have going on over here, and I'm gonna pour that in. That's also gonna deglaze that bottom a little bit because our Italian sausage, because it wasn't really high fat, it did not burn it. It got some nice brown bits going at the bottom. So, all right. I did cut my kale up finally too. It's a miracle. All right, so I'm gonna kind of loosen the bits up from the bottom a little bit and get them incorporated into our soup so that you have that loveliness all up in there. And I'm gonna spill all over the front of our stove too. Okay, so you're gonna let this go, bring it to a boil till the potatoes are fork tender. It's like maybe 15 minutes. It's really not that long. A couple things you guys always ask when I have you face this direction are our stove. We have a stove from the 1930s. It's a brand called Preway. I've never ever seen another one like it that's all electric. We got it off Facebook Marketplace for $400 quite a few years ago now. The stove is awesome because it's a canning stove, so it has a big space in the middle and 4 burners on each side. And then our oven is the only problem. It's tiny, you guys. For as much cooking as we do, it's not ideal, but she's too pretty not to have, so that's why she stays around. The other thing is you guys always ask what this is. By the way, one of you guys sent us this thing. It's an herb stripper. It is awesome. If you guys don't have an herb stripper, you pull like the sticks through, the stems through, and all the herbs fall in there. I used it a few minutes ago when I was doing stuff. But this is our water filtration system. We have 2. We have a Berkey, which is what this one is, and we have a Barreau, which is really dang similar. And you can use the Barreau filters in your Berkey since you really can't find them in the US anymore. But I get asked that almost every time that I point you guys this direction. What is that thing? It's a spaceship. We're going to space later. All right, well, I'm gonna bring this to a boil. And okay, by the way, if you're new to the channel, we do around here what we call rants, and it's just random information that you probably don't really care about, but I'm gonna give you anyways. And it's like my opinion on random stuff or just things about life or chit chat, you know what I mean? Anyways, we call them rants. But when I was talking about spaceships, it made me think my father-in-law was an amazing, amazing man. And he passed away a few years ago, but he had dementia really bad at the end. And you kind of, when you're in that situation, you kind of have to make the best out of it. If you've been around somebody like that, you know what I mean? And so he'd always call me Skidoo. I don't know why, but he always did. And he still knew that he didn't know who I was exactly by name at the end, but he'd say like, hey Skidoo, have you been being good? And what you been up to? And he'd ask, and I'd always say, well, his name was Terry. I'd always say, or we call him Pops. I'd say, Pops, I'm a cowgirl now. I have a horse ranch, and I'd give him a whole story about my made-up life. And then with dementia, he would come back maybe 3 minutes later and go, Skidoo, what have you been up to? And then I'd say, Pops, I went to space. I'm an astronaut now. And my son at the time was maybe a teen, maybe 16, was standing next to me like, Mom, stop, you're being mean. And I just explained to him like, you just have to have fun with it because those are the things you're gonna remember. You can't remember the bad, right? Anyways, so it made me think of that when I was thinking about spaceships. But I think it went on for like 6 or 7 occupations. It was great. Okay, well, I'm gonna get this boiling and help. I'm not gonna help, but my potatoes are gonna break down, and then when I come back, I'll show you the next step. Y'all, You know how I told you I haven't filmed in a while? Well, I thought my mic was working this whole video, and it wasn't. And two, when I was pushing record, I was actually pushing stop. So when I went to edit this video, I realized that I had a whole bunch of random things of me walking around my kitchen and not the part of me cooking because it was opposite of what it should have been. Anyways, after we let our potatoes get fork tender, I went ahead and I added our sour cream and our heavy cream. Give it a stir, drop your kale in there, and then you cook it for like maybe 5 more minutes till the kale is nice and soft. I'm gonna insert the video at the end that shows you like the next steps, but it's now the afternoon. I just sat down to edit this, and my soup's already in my crock pot right here. So, oops, my bad. Like I said, we keep it real life around here, but y'all, it is, so on the schedule, I'm supposed to post this on Friday. It is late Thursday afternoon. I'm really on the ball this time. Usually I am good about this stuff, but our world's crazy right now at Little Hill Homestead. We're getting ready for a craft show. No excuses. Like I said, I should have filmed this earlier. But if this goes all over the place, it's just because I'm a real person, y'all. And this is what it is. Anyways, so now that the cream and the sour cream and the kale have been added, I'm gonna show you the final product. It's beautiful and it's delicious, so let's go check it out. One of these days, I will figure out my life. I may be 90, but it'll happen eventually. Or not, I don't know. All right, I'm just gonna get a little bit because it's lunchtime right now, but we're not eating it for lunch. We're actually eating it for dinner, so I'm just gonna do a little bit to show you guys. But isn't it beautiful? It's like hearty and creamy, a little Parmesan on top. If you want to add red pepper flakes to spice it up slightly, it's amazing. But it's got the kale, which is substantial. That's why I was saying don't add too much and break it down nicely. Like this to me, which takes up my spoon, is probably the biggest size you want. You want to break that kale down into like that size, if you can see it. A little bit smaller is so much better. But the broth is like lovely and herby and creamy, but not heavy. So it's so good. Needs a little salt, but that's why I let people do that on the flip side. And it's just like, it's hot. It's really hot. But I like to burn my face for you guys if you haven't learned. The kale has a little bit of a crunch, but not really. It's got a chew to it because kale will. But man, is it good. Okay, you guys. That's it for Souptember. No, it's not it for Souptember at Little Hill Homestead. We'll be having another one in 2 weeks. Let me know if you guys want split pea soup or if you want the lemon Greek orzo soup. Let me know. I'll do what you guys want because that's what we do around here. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching our Souptember #1. And don't forget, I will have the link to Leanne's channel below. You can go check out all the channels that are participating. If you need soup recipes, they have you covered. Oh, yeah. If you're new here, that's my husband, Sean. He's always here. That's not a bad thing, though. Maybe I'll make him make the soup for #2. No, maybe I'll make him make the bread to go with. We're going to do some rolls to go with our soup today. Anyways, go hit up Leanne's channel. I will put a link below to her. She has a link to every single channel, and you can go check out by date what everybody's making. There's been some interesting ones so far. A lot of crock pot potato cheeseburger like ones with somebody did a zucchini one. There's some good soups out there. So go check it out, you guys. I appreciate you watching. And don't forget about her giveaway on October 2nd. Bye, guys.